HOA called my pond a safety hazard until they realized it was a wildlife sanctuary. This is your final warning, Alex. If you don't get rid of that goddamn swamp in your backyard, we'll make your life a living hell. The words cracked through the evening air, spat with venom by Mr. Langley, the homeowner association president. He stands on my porch, face red, jabbing a finger at my chest like I'm a dog that pissed on his carpet. Behind him, 3 HOA board members hover, their expressions varying from smug satisfaction to feigned concern. Mrs. Davenport, the treasurer, arms folded like she's waiting for the execution order. Ron and Greg, Langley's favorite lapdogs, are there too. One grinning, the other already scribbling on a clipboard. I barely get a breath before Langley's back at it. You were warned, he growls, stepping closer. 3 violation notices, 2 formal complaints. And now, I've got signatures from 30 homeowners demanding that this disgusting hazard be removed by next week. He shakes a thick manila folder in my face like it's a death warrant. Inside are the bogus complaints, threats of escalating fines, and a thinly veiled promise of legal action. I don't flinch. No, I say, voice steady. Langley blinks, like I was speaking in an alien language. Then he laughs, short, mean, full of disbelief. No, he repeats, mocking. You stupid, stubborn asshole. Do you think this is a negotiation? You think we're just gonna let you tell us no? I think, I say, calm but unyielding, that I know my rights. Davenport snorts. Ron scribbles faster. Langley's expression twists into something ugly. Listen, you little shit, he snarls. I don't give a damn about your rights. This isn't some hippy-dip pie nature retreat. This is a neighborhood. A real, goddamn community, where people follow the rules. And you're an infestation. I exhaled slowly, gripping the doorframe. They want me angry. They want me to snap, to yell, to give them an excuse. I don't. Instead, I tilt my head, feigning curiosity. So, what exactly is the problem, Langley? I ask, voice light. The pond itself, or the fact that I'm not kissing the HOA's ass like everyone else? His eyes flicker, just for a second. That's all I need. I press. Because let's be real. Bill Parker has a koi pond twice the size of mine, but I don't see you dragging your shriveled unstack over to his place. Davenport gasps. Ron coughs, trying not to laugh. Greg clears his throat, looking at the sidewalk. Langley? He's livid. This isn't about Parker. He barks. This is about you. You're goddamn mosquito-infested, rat-attracting, bacteria-ridden shithole in the middle of a family neighborhood. He leans in, voice dropping to a growl. You think you're smart, don't you? Think you can outmaneuver us? I stare back, silent. Because I do. Langley huffs. Fine. Do you want to play it that way? He yanks out an official-looking letter, crumples it in one hand, then slaps it against my chest. That is a final demand. You have 10 days to drain and destroy that swamp, or we'll fine you into the fucking ground. I take the paper, skimming it. The fine is obscene. Enough to cripple most people. A direct, financial assassination attempt. A slow smile spreads across my face. Langley notices. It bothers him. What the fuck are you smiling at? He snaps. I fold the paper neatly, tuck it into my pocket, and step forward, closing the gap between us. Langley isn't used to people standing their ground. He instinctively steps back. Nothing, Mr. Langley, I say smoothly. Just wondering how much you're going to regret this. As they storm off, I watch them go, gripping the paper in my pocket. This isn't over. They think I'm just another pushover, another resident who will fold under their bullshit. They have no idea what's coming. They don't know that my pond isn't just a pond. And soon, they're going to wish they never messed with me. I don't wait. The second Langley and his clown parade stomp off my porch, I'm already in action. I grab my phone, snap pictures of the violation notice, and forward it to my lawyer buddy, Ethan. Smart as hell, hates HOAs, and loves a good fight. Think you can take a look? HOA's trying to shake me down, asterisk. His reply is instant. On it. You still got that evidence folder I told you to make, asterisk. I grin. I do. It's thick, full of inconsistencies, selective enforcement, and legal loopholes these idiots have no clue about. They think I'm some stubborn homeowner. They have no idea I've been planning for this fight. I flip to the section on Langley's property. Oh, that's interesting. His front yard has unapproved lighting, a decorative fence outside the HOA guidelines, a brick walkway he never got permits for. I chuckle, shaking my head. They always think the rules don't apply to them. The next morning, I find Langley's next move waiting for me on my porch, a city inspector. Middle-aged guy, clipboard, tired eyes, already apologizing with his posture before he even speaks. Homeowner? He asks. That's me. He sighs. Got a complaint about an unregulated water feature. Just need to check it out. I step aside, gesturing to the backyard. Langley and his goons are parked across the street, watching. The inspector frowns at the pond. Takes some pictures, some notes. But I see it already. There's nothing wrong. The water's clean, the landscaping's maintained, the drainage is compliant. This is a fishing expedition, and they didn't bring the right bait. It's fine, the inspector says finally. I'll file the report, but honestly, this isn't a violation. I don't see an issue. Langley's car door slams across the street. Here he comes. Are you serious? Langley barks, marching up the driveway. That is a standing body of water. It's a mosquito factory. A health hazard. The inspector shrugs. Doesn't violate city code. Sorry. Langley turns. He looks at me. Seething. I fold my arms. Smile. Wait. This isn't over, he hisses. He storms off, nearly kicking over my flower pot. 3 days later, the fines start. First one, $500. Unapproved water feature. Next day, $1,000. Failure to comply. By the end of the week, $2,500. It's textbook harassment. I started getting letters from neighbors. Some supportive, some parroting HOA bullshit. A few anonymous ones are straight-up threats. That one makes me laugh. HOA has ways. So do I. I spent a full night going through the HOA rulebook, highlighting, bookmarking, and cross-referencing with public records. By dawn, I have everything I need. Oh, this is going to be fun. I wrote up a formal complaint and mailed copies to the HOA board. Submit another to the city compliance office. Let's see how they like it. Langley shows up at my door again, this time without the fake politeness. You sneaky little shit, he growls. You think filing bullshit complaints is gonna save your ass? I hold up my hands, mock innocence. I'm just following HOA guidelines, Langley. Fair's fair. He steps closer. Too close. His breath smells like cheap coffee and rage. You are done here, he hisses. You hear me? You don't belong in this neighborhood. You don't belong with people like us. Ah, there it is. Not about the pond. Not really. About control. About conformity. About power. And they hate me because I don't fucking bow. I smile. Guess we'll see. The next morning, I woke up to a HOA crew in my backyard. Chainsaws. Shovels. They're here to destroy my pond. I run outside. Rage like a wildfire in my chest. One of them, some HOA drone in a neon vest, shrugs. Just following orders. I don't care. I get in their way. A shouting match erupts. The neighbors gather. Phones come out, filming. Langley arrives, grinning. You should have complied. I laugh. Loud. I pull out my phone, already dialing. Yeah, hi. This is Alex. My property is currently being trespassed on, and I'd like to report destruction of protected land. Langley frowns. Protected what? I grin. Oh, didn't I tell you? The paperwork's already filed. My pond isn't just a pond. It's a legally recognized wildlife sanctuary. And these assholes just committed a felony. Sirens wail in the distance. Langley blanches, stepping back. The HOA workers freeze. This is the moment it all changes. They want to fight. They just fucking lost. Langley's smug grin vanishes the second he hears the sirens. The HOA workers freeze, chainsaws and shovels mid-action, looking between me and the approaching police car like they just realized they're standing on a landmine. I stand my ground. Phone still in hand. The camera is still recording. The cruiser rolls up slow, deliberate, the way cops do when they know some real shit is going down. Officer Mills steps out first. Middle-aged, built like a retired linebacker, and one of the few cops around here who isn't in Langley's pocket. Morning, Alex. He nods, then glances at Langley, at the chainsaws. The crew was halfway through digging up my property. His expression hardens. Want to explain what the hell is going on here? Langley plasters on a fake-ass smile and steps forward like he owns the block. Oh, officer, just a little HOA enforcement. This homeowner has an illegal structure. I cut him off. That's funny. I pull a thick folder from under my arm, the official paperwork I filed days ago. I hand it straight to Mills. He flips through it. His jaw tightens. Langley shifts uncomfortably. Mills looks up. This is a certified wildlife conservation zone. That's right, I say, voice like a steel trap closing, which means you and your goons just committed felony property destruction. The air goes dead. The workers step back, eyes darting to their boss. Langley's smile twitches. He tries to laugh, like this is some kind of misunderstanding. Now hold on a damn second. This is bullshit. He probably forged those documents. I mean, it's just some backyard pond, for Christ's sake. Mills ignores him, turning to me. Are you pressing charges? I don't blink. Damn right I am. Langley loses it. The neighbors across the street heard it. Some start filming. Mills steps forward, right into Langley's space. Watch your mouth, Langley. And step back. Langley's teeth grind so hard I swear I hear them crack. The crew scatters. They drop tools and back away slowly. They're not going down for him. Mills gestures to his partner. Get statements. And make sure all of this is on record. Langley is breathing heavy, fists clenching and unclenching. This isn't just a loss for him. This is public humiliation. Word spreads like wildfire. By noon, the entire neighborhood knows. Some are pissed. Some think I'm an asshole for embarrassing the HOA. But some are inspired. At the next HOA meeting, tensions explode. Mrs. Patel, who's lived here for 30 years, finally speaks up. Why are we enforcing rules selectively? Why does Langley get to do whatever the hell he wants? Langley tries to regain control. This isn't about me. This is about a homeowner refusing to follow the rules. I stand up. Loud, clear, unapologetic. No, Langley. This is about you thinking the rules don't apply to you. Murmurs. Agreement. Some of the other board members shift uncomfortably. They don't want to go down with him. Langley sees it happening, sees his power slipping. So he does what power-hungry assholes always do when backed into a corner. He goes nuclear. 2 days later, I woke up to a thick certified letter on my doorstep. I tear it open. HOA v. Alex, legal filing. They're suing me. Langley is taking this to court. I laugh. I shouldn't, but I do. Because this idiot just made the worst mistake of his life. 2 weeks later, we're in a packed courtroom. Langley looks confident. His lawyer, a corporate shark in a $2,000 suit, stands up and goes for the throat. Your Honor, this homeowner has deliberately obstructed the HOA policy, endangered the community, and caused irreparable damage to property values. I watch. Wait. Let him dig his own grave. Then it's my turn. I stand. Clear my throat. Look Langley in the eye as I pull out my evidence. And the cherry on top, proof that HOA funds were being misused under his leadership. Langley's face goes pale. The judge leans forward. Interested now. Mr. Langley, would you care to explain why these violations were ignored? Langley fumbles. Stutters. The lawyer next to him is fuming. Because they just lost. A week later, HOA holds a special election. Langley? Gone. His entire board crumbles with him. And my pond? Untouchable. A permanent, protected wildlife sanctuary. Langley packs up and moves within a month. Couldn't take the shame. One evening, I stand by the water. A heron lands. Frogs croak. I feel something deep in my chest. Not just victory. Justice. I fought. And I fucking won. And this place will never be theirs to control again. Neighbors who've never shown up before pack the community center. Some leaning against the walls. Some peering in from the doorway phones, raised cameras recording. Everyone knows shit is about to go down. I walk in slowly, taking it all in. The energy in the room is different. Langley is already seated at the front, his jaw tight, fingers drumming the table. The HOA board members? They look nervous. They know what's coming. At the podium, a flustered HOA secretary clears her throat. We're here today to address ongoing issues regarding Mr. Alex's property and the association's enforcement policies. Langley cuts her off. No, we're here to put a stop to this bullshit. Enough delays. Enough games. Alex is getting rid of that goddamn pond today, or we'll take further legal action. He slams a stack of documents on the table, grinning like a jackal who smells blood. We've already filed new claims. Increased fines. If he doesn't comply, we can force foreclosure. Gasps ripple through the room. I exhaled slowly. I expected this. Langley leans back, smug as hell. Checkmate, he sneers. The problem is, he doesn't know what I know. And he sure as hell doesn't know what's coming next. I step forward, pulling a fat legal folder from my bag. I set it on the table. Tap it twice. You know, Langley, I say casually. I thought you might try something desperate. So I came prepared. He laughs. Fake. Forced. Prepared for what? A court loss? I smirk. Nah. I was thinking more along the lines of a federal investigation. Silence. Then chatter erupts. Langley's smile wavers. What the hell are you talking about? I flip open the folder and pull out the first document. You like playing legal games, Langley? Let's talk about fraud. I hold up an official-looking paper, my voice loud and clear. Here's a report from the city's environmental department, confirming that my property, my pond, is officially designated as a legally protected wildlife sanctuary. Langley scoffs. Bullshit. I keep going. This means that any attempt to destroy it, find me over it, or pressure me into removing it is not just harassment. It's a federal crime. Langley's jaw clenches. I pull out another sheet. Here's an official cease and desist order filed against the HOA. I slam it on the table. The board members shift, looking at each other. Neighbors lean forward, whispering. But I'm not done. I reach into the folder and pull out the kill shot. I hold up a bank statement. A very specific one. And this right here? This is proof that HOA funds have been misappropriated for personal expenses. Langley's face goes white. A murmur sweeps through the room. One of the board members, Mrs. Patel, stiffens. Wait, what? Langley shakes his head. That's a fucking lie. I slide the document across the table. Want to explain why HOA funds were used to pay for renovations on your house, Langley? The room erupts. Neighbors start shouting. Langley shoots up from his seat, fists clenched. This is a goddamn smear campaign. I hold up my hands, mock innocence. Oh, it's not just me. The city's already been notified. The state HOA regulatory board, too. Hell, even the IRS is interested. Langley's yes dart to the board members. And he sees it. They're not with him anymore. Mrs. Patel stands. Her voice shakes, not with fear but rage. You mean to tell me, while you were harassing homeowners, while you were threatening us with fines, you were stealing from us? Langley spins to her. That money was for community improvements. Like hell it was. The crowd erupts again. Someone yells, You tried to foreclose on my neighbor over a goddamn fence. And you were stealing the whole time. Langley's face is drenched in sweat. He grabs his briefcase like he's about to bolt. But the HOA isn't done with him. Greg, the outwardly odd member who always backed Langley, finally snaps. I'm not going down for this. He whips out his folder. I have emails, bank transfers, proof that Langley pressured us to cover up violations and issue fake fines. Langley lunges across the table. You spineless bastard. Enough. Officer Mills steps in. Langley freezes. Mills adjusts his belt, ice cold. Mr. Langley, I think it's time we had a chat downtown. Langley opens his mouth, then closes it. He knows. He's done. 2 days later, Langley resigns in disgrace. A new election is held. HOA leadership, completely overhauled. And the fines. The bogus violations, all wiped clean. Neighbors who once voided me now stop by to shake my hand. Mrs. Patel, she spearheads a new initiative to make sure nothing like this happens again. And Langley, well, let's just say his ooze goes up for sale pretty damn fast. A week later, I'm sitting by the water, watching. The heron lands gracefully on a rock, dipping its beak into the cool water. Frogs croak in the reeds. Dragonflies buzz lazily above the surface. This place. It's safe now. No one's coming for it again. I hear footsteps behind me. It's Mrs. Patel. She folds her arms, looking out at the water. You did well, Alex. I chuckle. Took a hell of a fight to get here. She nods. Yeah, but you won. I exhale. Feel the weight of it. I did. And the first time since this whole thing started. I let myself enjoy it. The pond. The victory. The peace. Because I fucking earned it. Langley doesn't go down quietly. No, he flails. Like a cornered animal. He spends the next 2 weeks trying everything to crawl out of the hole he dug himself into. He files an appeal, denied. He tries to strong-arm the remaining board members. They won't even take his calls. He even called a special meeting to set the record straight. I show up. Front row. Arms crossed. So does half the neighborhood. Langley steps up to the podium, sweating through his expensive button-down, a fake smile plastered on his face. Now listen, he starts, voice wavering. There's been a lot of misinformation spreading. Someone snorts loudly. Langley glares. This is all a witch hunt. A smear campaign. I raise a hand. So, Langley, did someone smear your name on those bank transfers too? Or was that you? The room rusts. Langley snaps. Mills steps forward. Langley lamps his mouth shut. He knows. He's lost. The HOA votes him out on the spot. For the first time in 15 years, Langley is officially powerless. With Langley on, the neighborhood art's changing overnight. The EW board cancels all outstanding bullshit fines. The legal nonsense, wiped. And the HOA rulebook, ripped apart and rewritten. Suddenly, neighbors who avoided me like the plague are now stopping by, offering beers, shaking my hand. Even Greg, the spineless board member, shows up at my door one evening, looking like a ice dog. Hey, I just wanted to say sorry, man. I lean in the doorway, arms crossed. You mean for backing every shitty move Langley made, or for not standing up until it was too late? He winces. Both, I guess. I study him for a second, then shrug. Are you gonna do better? He odes. Then we're good. I shut the door. The next week, Langley's house goes up for sale. The for sale sign is a scarlet letter, a final defeat for the man who thought he ran this place. Neighbors watch as moving trucks pull up. I step outside just in time to see him loading boxes into a rental van. He looks up. We lock eyes. For a second, I wonder if he's gonna try and say something. Some last bit of jab. But he doesn't. He just looks away. Gets in the car. Drives off. And just like that, Langley is gone. That night, I sit by the pond, my pond. The awatera is still. The frogs roke in the reeds. A heron stands at the edge, watching me. It's over. No more threats. No more Yuns. No more Langley. I let out a slow breath, feeling the weight finally leave my shoulders. Mrs. Patel wanders over, hands in her pockets. She steadies me for a moment, then nods toward the pond. Beautiful, isn't it? I glance at the water. Yeah, it is. She miles. They never stood a chance, did they? I chuckle. Not really. She hugs, claps me on the shoulder, and walks off. And for the first time in a long time, I feel at home. Over the next few months, things started shifting. A neighbor who never spoke to me before suddenly asks if he can plant wildflowers in his yard. Another one builds a birdhouse. Someone else uses a bat box to cut down on mosquitoes. And suddenly, the sterile, lifeless neighborhood Langley tried to control, it starts coming alive. The HOA, still there, but it's different now. Instead of a weapon for power-hungry pricks, it's helping. For the first time, the HOA focuses on real community improvements. They provide gardens, help homeowners with maintenance grants, and even support new eco-friendly initiatives. And me, I have been asked to join the new board. I laugh. Not a chance of that. I fought like hell to ET these assholes off my back. No way I'm going to spend my free time sitting in meetings about lawn heights. But I do give them one suggestion. A new rule. One states that no HOA member can serve for more than 2 years. So there'll ever be another Langley. They voted in immediately. Months pass. Then, one day, a letter arrived in my mailbox. from the State Environmental Agency. I tear it open. Congratulations! Your property has been officially recognized as a registered wildlife conservation area. This status ensures permanent protection under state law. No future modifications may be made without environmental review and approval. I grin. They can even touch it now. Ever. Not a new HOA. Not a future Langley. This pond. It's safe. Forever. I fold the letter, walk to the edge of the pond, and sit down. Watching. Listening. Because of this place, it isn't just mine anymore. It's part of something bigger. And no one will ever take it away again. I pick up a stone, toss it into the water, and watch the ripples spread. Just like this fight. It started with one stand. And now, it's hanged everything. I lean back, breathe in the night air, and smile.